The Dark One has a lot of servants in the world, though perhaps there aren't as many that are as ferocious, or nearly as numerous, as the Trollocs. These are creatures created by and for the Shepherd of the Night for one singular purpose and one purpose alone. That is to kill in the name of their Dark Lord. Trollocs were created to take pleasure in doing so, to have that drive to not just slaughter, but to enjoy slaughtering their victims. Humans are not just prey, but they're also the Trollocs' favorite food. So how did these Trollocs begin? The Trollocs began as an experiment by the Forsaken. They were in need of soldiers during the War for Power, the war that took place before the breaking of the world, that could stand against and overpower the arms and the armies of men, of Aes Sedai, who would be ferocious on the battlefield, who would kill and slaughter and destroy, and not even be turned away from such disgusting destruction. Servants of the Darkness were taken and experimented on. Regular humans that had chosen the Dark One over their fellow man were taken and their blood meshed through usage of the power and alchemy with that of beasts, with that of wolves, of bulls, goats, eagles. These beasts, their blood was used for the ferocity that was within them, and the blood of humans was used as a building block to ensure that they came out in a way that meant that they could fight and stand against the armies of men. Trollocs stand on 2 feet. They have arms, they have opposable thumbs. Most of the time, Trollocs are much taller, much heavier than regular humans are. But the biggest thing that will set them apart is some are born with heads of the animals that their blood is infused with the heads of bulls, with beaks, with tufted ears of wolves and dogs. Something else that sets them apart is their want of killing. What they were created for is to be ferocious, and ferocious they absolutely are. With that ferocity that they're created with, they have to be driven to their tasks. Because just as they cause fear in those that they attack and slaughter and harm, they only answer to that same fear. A beast as wild as a wolf doesn't answer to somebody just because they've smiled at them, but they will answer and they will react to fear. The Myrddraal, the Dreadlords, the Forsaken, and the Dark One himself drive the Trollocs to these dark tasks, and it's not easy for them to do it. Trollocs are lazy, Trollocs are ferocious, but ultimately, Trollocs are cowards. While savage and while ferocious, they need to be forced into the fray. They'll only rise to do battle when lashed, when driven by these lieutenants to do so, to fight the arms and armies of men. And they are formidable in their fighting. They're savage, they're destructive, they are armed and armored with weapons forged in Thak-Andar, in the slopes of Shaiol Ghul, the Dark One's very own prison. As such, these weapons hold a taint of that Dark One within them, of the Dark One within them, and a single slash from such a weapon can be fatal. Where a regular flesh wound struck across the arm can heal in a matter of weeks or even days, a strike from a weapon forged in Thak-Andar by a Trolloc will fester and taint the individual that is struck by it. Where they would survive in a matter of days, be healed, they can be killed in a matter of hours, depending on how strong their spirit is. It means it's not just enough to survive an encounter with Trollocs, but you must be treated for the wounds that are inflicted in that, because you can die even after you win. Few things frighten a Trolloc more than the lieutenants that drive them, but as we've stated before, Trollocs are, at the end of the day, cowards. When they're fighting and they're driven in these fists of hundreds of thousands of Trollocs, when the battle begins to turn against them, when their numbers don't overpower a armed, well-trained force, they'll turn tail and run. They won't stand against a force that will outslay them. No matter the driving of the Myrddraal, no matter the driving of the Dreadlords, or even a Forsaken commander themselves, they will turn tail and run because they do not want to be slaughtered. And in some cases, They'll even kill the Dreadlords or the Mirtroll that are trying to force them back into the fight. Trollocs, while ferocious and while savage, are not trained soldiers. They're not societally organized. They stand little chance against a trained soldier. While a Trolloc versus a regular farmer or a regular civilian crossing a plain in the middle of the night will easily take and destroy them, against a soldier who's been trained, the soldier will come out on top more times than not. Against a veteran of battles and wars, as you see in the Borderlands, the Trollocs will die by the 2s and 3s before they kill that grizzled veteran. And before somebody who has a heron-marked sword or a warder of the Aes Sedai, such blade masters, they'll fall in the dozens, slice through and cut down just as easily as you would cut through a dead tree or slice through half-melted butter. While afraid of losing in a battle and fighting against somebody so much more well-trained than they are, memory for Trollocs can perhaps bring about more fear than even a heron-marked swordmaster. Memory of generations causes this, explaining their offspring or simply showing fear of going to specific places. Shadar Logoth, a place of darkness, a place of greed, of jealousy, of hatred. That is a place that even Trollocs will not go to unless driven incessantly by their lieutenants. And even then, those lieutenants might lose their lives as they try to force Trollocs into the walls of such a disgusting, dark place. The Ale Waste, as well, known simply to the Trollocs as the dying grounds, for the ferocity of the ale has driven back a lot of attempted invasions by the Trollocs into their desert land. Though perhaps their greatest foe is not humans, but wolves. Wolves, just as Trollocs, have memories of the other that go so deep within their own bones they feel a rage come over them when they see each other. A pack of wolves will go out of its way to take down an entire fist of Trollocs if they can, and Trollocs will do the same. For both sides hate each other and enjoy nothing more than slaughtering each other on the battlefield. Both creatures fight and die out of this mutual shared hatred to the other. Wolves cause such a problem for the Trollocs who fear them so that Mirtroll and Forsaken and Dreadlords will even go out of their way to hunt down entire packs and families of wolves in an area just to stop their plans from going awry from the interference of these creatures. But in the end, what a Trolloc is a foot soldier. While lazy, while cowards, they're still savage and deadly, incredibly numerous, an unending horde of the darkness that comes to take all nations on the world away, to destroy the light in the name of the Dark Lord. They're the beasts that the Dark One sets against the world of men and against the world of light. Beasts that the Dark One would wish all humans to be turned into or consumed by. So in the end, all that a Trolloc is a beast driven forth to fight humanity. And humanity must stand against them in the light. All is as the wheel wills it.